Alan, do the best teams grow into tournaments, do you think?
Well, you know, let's go back to the last World Cup when Argentina got beat, didn't they? Do you remember? So, and they went on to win it. So you can't really tell at this stage. I think we all got a little bit nervous in that second half where we were sat a bit too deep and invited pressure. You're hoping that somewhere along the line in these 3 games, if I was the manager, you'd like to make a statement performance where you get 3 or 4 goals and go bang, just for the confidence of the group and to take a little bit of heat off. The thing about England, and don't just think it's England, Germany, France will be the same as us. They put massive pressure on the national team. You're going to get it, it's coming. So don't get negative about it. Don't feel, I just sense too many England players having to defend already themselves, just play with freedom, go out there and make a statement. And I think this team is more than capable of really punishing a team, and we'll have to wait and see it, and hopefully that happens.
Well, fans' expectations are high, there's no question about that. Steve, who's a passionate England fan, he gave White and Jordan his best Gareth Southgate analogy yesterday.
The man needs to get his head out of his backside. He needs to stop making the big decisions. We're starting to see the same old. It's not going to happen. It's like your old lady. You do a day's collar, you're walking down the path, she's cooking a curry, right? And you go in and you sit down, it smells nice. This smells nice. You sit down, you're eating the curry, she says to you, what was that like? I was like, well, it was all right. Well, what do you mean? Well, you could have marinated the meat, you could have spiced it up a little bit. The ingredients are there, Jim. Go for it, son. We're crying out. Jim, and the last point I'll make about your man, right? Leaders, right? He looks lost. He has got the best job in the world. He has got the most talented national team in the world. Everyone's envy of him. He needs to get rid of that blazer, get rid of that T-shirt, get ready for work. Get something England on, even if it's only a badge. Get your shirt on, son. Get ready for work and be positive and make them big calls.
Who'd be a manager, Alan?
Where's the game from? Blimey. That was unbelievable. What did he say? Collar? We do a day's collar. Did he say that? I'm sure he said that. And then have a curry.
Something like
that. A collar and a curry.
No, I mean, Gareth Southgate he's in some respects, in the early stages, he's in a no-win situation, isn't he?
Well, this is the job that was the impossible job before Gareth got it. No one, it was this and that. It was never the impossible job. Just someone needed to bring some common sense to it and have an even kill. And Gareth's done that. But, of course, the pressure is on him to actually get a trophy and get something across the line. He knows that. He's already mentioned that in his interviews. This might be his last tournament. And I think he's sensible enough to know that that's the situation. The bottom line for him, of course, is performances. His first performance hasn't gone great, but he got a win, and we go to the next one.
Absolutely. Joining us for more now, England correspondent for talkSPORT, Faye Carruthers. Morning, Faye.
Morning, Faye.
Morning, Jeff. Morning, Alan. You've spot on there, Alan. Just move on to the next. It's the first game of the tournament. We got a clean sheet and we got 3 points on the board.
But Gareth, I know he's used to it, Faye, but he hears this criticism. What impression do you get of how he copes with that?
I think he's got more defensive, actually. As in the 8 years that he's been in charge, I think he's very bullish now and just thinks, well, the noise is going to happen. There's nothing I can do about it. I just need to concentrate on myself, on my coaching staff, on my players, and bring a trophy back home to England. I think he just brushes it off because the problem is it's, listening to that caller there as an example, that he's not marinated the squad. Well, he ripped things up a little bit. He's taken out big, reliable, experienced players that he's had in the past, which is what people were calling for him to do. He's brought young, exciting talent into the squad, which people were calling him to do. He's using Trent Alexander-Arnold, which people were calling for him to do. I'm not quite sure what else they really want him to do. So, yes, the performance wasn't fantastic, but it's the first game of a tournament and a lot of the players have just been on the training pitch for the last few weeks, and Alan will know this as a manager. It's like pre-season, isn't it? You can't read too much into what's going to be the Premier League season from pre-season games, and it feels a little bit like that at the opening game of a tournament, but he's won the last 3 opening games in tournaments, which is something that England hadn't done before. So I think we need to just maybe remember a little bit where we were previously to where we are now.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing I would say, Faye, is that, when I was at Newcastle in particular, we had some tough weeks in terms of the crowd base sort of getting on us. I felt myself getting defensive, and particularly in the press room. And but it focuses the mind. So I'm pretty sure Gareth will be very focused on his job, etc. But you start to feel, as you say, acting defensive in there. I mean, what is the media room like for Gareth? What is you're in there, What do you sense in that media room? Are they with him, or is it hard? Has he got half the group, or is the whole media team sort of willing him to do well? Where do you think they sit?
I think it's the majority willing him to do well, because he's always been really good with the media. He's always fronted up if something hasn't been quite right. He's also defended players if he really truly believes that they need that additionally. But he's fair, I would say, and I feel like the media are fair with him as a result of that. It's the noise outside, I think, and he wants to bring this home for the fans. You can tell that, not just
Sure.
The players and himself. He probably puts himself like last in that list, I would say. So yeah, I feel as if everybody feels like they're really close, and he gets asked difficult questions all the time, because that's what our job is. We have to analyse his choices and what he's doing, but I very much feel as if everybody believes this group can go on to win it, and want them to.
So Faye, what have the players been up to since the Serbia game?
They went on a long bike ride yesterday, complete with helmets, in the beautiful area that they are in Blankenheim. They had a lot of fun. It was all the non-starters and Kobe Mainu, who got a few minutes, of course, on Monday night in the Serbia game, that trained in the morning. Everybody else trained separately. Luke Shaw as well, actually, trained separately as he continues his rehabilitation. So that's what they did in the morning, and then they went for a lovely long bike ride in the afternoon, which looked good fun. This afternoon we're back at the castle, where we're doing all of the media interviews. So we'll have somebody in the press conference to speak to first of all, and then someone will come into what we're naming the talkSPORT Castle Den. I mean, it's up for new names that are more imaginative, I have to say. Will be joining us, and we'll be speaking to them, but we don't know who yet.
Thanks, Faye. Don't take offence if I say on your bike. Faye Carruthers, our England correspondent.
Thanks, Faye.
talkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app, and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.